I'm back. I'm still learning the game somewhat myself. Apparently, if we were to ambush and be successful, we would remove all raid counters from area tracks, but not from Santa Fe. So we wouldn't remove these because these haven't left Santa Fe yet. It's very helpful if the raid counters somehow go into an area where you don't have any family, because at the end of the raid, an outpost will get built there because you have no family. So I can see how it's helpful. This guy could conduct an ambush up here and, remove these. That's not the situation we're in, so we are not going to do an ambush. We're going to do an evade. And this is where having a low die roll would be good, because if we roll a 1, he'll go to here. The reason I care about that, you add the family evasion modifier. If I roll a 4 plus 2 is 6, he's going to go up to here. Then he's going to have to come all the way back. I don't want that. In fact, ideally, we would get him into the escape box, because then at the end of the raid, we can put him anywhere in that territory. And I'm going to put him back on top of that outpost so he can destroy it. Right? If we put him over here, he's going to have to ride back to it. So let's talk about negotiation. It cost an AP, and we've got 1 left, because we used 1 to go to put this here. Now, unfortunately, as far as I can tell, see the blessing way, it says it can be used during battle, evasion, or any time during player ops. Well, this is not player ops, this is enemy ops. And even though evasion is allowed, it does not say that negotiation is allowed, because you want to roll a 6, and this is a 5 on this card. All right, it's a 5. So I don't think we can use it, which is something I was doing before. I've asked a question on BGG. I haven't gotten any official confirmation, but that's my reading of it. So what I'm saying is we can negotiate, and actually we can spend trade goods to negotiate. So you know what? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We've got a +2 modifier, so we're going to get at least a 3, right? So we could guarantee a 6 if I were to spend 3 trade goods. So that's the question. How many trade goods do we want to spend? So we're going to spend our last AP to evade. Oh, wait a minute now. This is getting a little scary, because what's going to happen is he's going to put 2 here, okay, and then this is going to go here, and this family. Oh, you know what that family's going to do? That family's going to use this 5 to evade. Okay, we're going to be fine. We're going to be totally fine. Question is, do we spend 1 trade good, which would give us +2 for the family, +1 for the trade? This would be a +3 before we roll the dice. And then we have a 50-50 chance. It's not worth it. We're going to spend all 3. We'll have to get them back through another planning at another time. So we're going to spend all 3. Spend our last AP to negotiate. Give them 3 trade goods, plus our evasion modifier is a 5. We're going to roll at least a 1. That's a 6. It's a guaranteed success. Okay? Negotiate. Place all families into the escape box. All right? That happens. Then the raid continues here, where we've harassed them for 2. Then the next nearest family in movement points is clearly him. He's going to go up to here. This family. Now we could roll the die. His modifier is a 0, so anything but a 1. Then again, why risk it? Let's get this out of our hands. So we're going to use this for a 5, and to evade, he's going to jump up to area 5. Then this is going to go here, and that's the raid, and our hand is empty of ceremony cards. That's what they're for. All right. Per the end of the raid, any territory where you have a raid counter and no family counter, and this counts as being in the territory, okay, would get an outpost. And then this clearly has, so no outpost. Furthermore, if no family is in the cot box, enemy morale down 1. So we cost him a victory point. And that's what I was saying earlier about how I've learned to stop worrying and love the raid, because you can use it effectively. So let's put the harass counter back in the out of play box. All right, that was build. Now we go to I'm sorry, that was raid. So that was build, that was raid. That leaves him with 1 AP, and that's the end of his turn. And now we do the major event, which was if a planning was executed, look at the next 3 cards, put them in whatever order you want. Oops. All right. So the next card, yeah, right, math told us that it was going to be that. And then we have a ceremony card, which won't hurt us now because we just got rid of that. And then, so we definitely want to do a planning operation before the Pueblo Revolt so we can kill this mission, because that's a victory point when we get to that phase. This ceremony card, I don't even think we want it. It'll give us an elder counter, but if you recall, all the elder counters are already in play. We can't, it won't even do us any good. Okay, I think it's no brainer. We're going to go in this order. All right. The minor event of our current card is roll to see who swaps places. 1. Oh, first of all, I should reset this. Okay. So I just reset the instruction display, and I rolled a 1, so this is to see what swaps, not what flips. Stripes never flip, so these swap. So build and subvert comes in. I would rather have subjugate than build and subvert. Subvert drains you of culture points, and build is build. These things are annoying as hell. They're not that hard to kill, but the problem is they force you to take a take actions option instead of planning or passage of time to get them off the board. So they sort of force your decision. All right. So then we're going to flip over the ceremony card, and we're going to decide we don't want it because we're not going to get anything for it. It's just going to sit in our hand. Yes, it's a guaranteed 4, but then we have to deal with possibly suffering the effect. I say we lose it. And then we have an operations card. We have no APs because we used them all. Wisely so, though. All right, so he gets 5 plus 2 is 7, and he had 1 anyway, so that's 8. All right, let's roll to see what happens over here. Double 5s. Raid swaps with subjugate. All right. I am thinking now, I don't know, but I'm thinking that cunning cultural development card gives us the option of making him skip one of these instructions. You don't spend the AP, so if we make him skip the build and subvert, which I'm kind of thinking I want to, then he's going to do a build and a slaves. So how bad is that going to be? Slaves, we're going to roll a die and remove a child counter from the family box of a family located in the territory corresponding to the die roll. If there's no family in the territory that we rolled, or if no child in a family in the territory, remove a woman instead. If there's no family that has a woman, or if there's no family at all, remove a child from the passage of time. Or if no child, a woman. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Well, we got to pick our poison here. Do we want to? He'll do 2 builds, right? He'll either do a build and a subvert and a build, and a subvert is if there's less than 3 cubes in the yeah, no, that's right. We haven't done Pueblo Revolt. That's coming next. If there's less than 3 cubes, conduct a subjugation instead. Okay, fine. I can live with that. I can live with that. You know what? Oh, crap, but builds, and then we have a scoring round. All right, fine. We don't want any builds, so we are going to tap this card up here or exhaust. I forget if the trademark is worn off yet. But we're going to tap that card, and we're going to say, you're not doing this. You are not going to build and subvert. So then he's going to build 3, and then he's going to do slaves for 5. So he's going to spend 3 to build, and the build is going to happen in the next lowest die roll. So this was area 1, this is area 2. So we put a mission out here. Somebody's got to come stomp on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C can get to it. All right. And subvert says if there's less cubes, fewer than 3 red cubes, conduct a subjugation instead. And it was a subjugation. It's a build and subvert 3, so it's going to be a subjugation 3, which means I'm going to pull 3 red cubes, which I probably, yeah, I'm going to do this. So subjugation, these go here, this goes here. +1 enemy morale. Okay. What are you going to do? At least we made him lose 1. Okay, that was build and subvert. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. We made him skip that. All we're doing is a build. I'm so sorry. You get lost in this game. All right. So we're not doing the build and subvert. And let me put his morale back down. We did the build. That's all he did. Boink. Now he's doing slaves. Now we have to roll. And I'm going to have to get the rules. I'm going to get the reference sheet here. Let's roll a die. Area 6. Area 6 is Black Mesa. I don't have a family there. Alright, so if I don't have a family, I think it said remove a child from the passage of time, orphan of child, 1 woman. Alright, so we're losing this woman counter. That's better than another build. Okay, and that was 5 to conduct slaves, so that ends his turn. Hey, peace is up at the top. Just don't roll any 1s. Alright. It's our turn. We're definitely... Oh, and I was at the end of the raid, I get to put him in whatever area of that territory we clearly want him there. Alright. Take actions. Now it costs an extra movement point to move into an area here. So if we give Family C a horse, he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's an extra 1 to raid the outpost. It costs wherever the outpost is. He's in area 1. All right. So C is going to raid this because he wouldn't be able to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just to get in. He wouldn't have any other. But then for the VP check, we need to get him over here. So these two guys are going to do a little swap, a little dance. All right. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. No, each of these guys is going to get a horse. So B and C are going to get horses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and C's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and attack for 6. So we're going to pull from the raid pool. Oh, son of a... You know what? We're just going to give him enemy... Oh, you know what? That's just terrible. That's just terrible because... the raid ends. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that was horrible. So he gets +1 morale, and then the raid ends. And then we're going to do... Family A is going to raid. That's 1 hit. And that's... I think black counts as 2 hits, but whatever. He needs 2 hits in area 1. So that is just awful. All right, ferocity goes up by 1, and culture goes up by 1 for killing the outpost, and that cost 1 to attack. I don't know. Do we want to raid? No, because we might pull another green. I don't need that anymore. We could plant a corn. Cost 4 plus 1 is 5. We've spent 1. Let's just plant a corn. I don't know, it's something to do. And then our family in D, we'll give them a horse. And they're going to go 1, 2. And hang out there. 3. Reason being, the lower the area, the easier it is to roll a higher area to evade to. Okay, so I mean, I might even want to put them down here in area 1, so that even if he rolls a 1, 1 plus 2 would be 3. He could escape to here. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to go there. All right. That kind of sucked. All right, that's all of our families. And now we do the event, which says if a planning was, actually we did not do a planning, so skip it. Roll to see who suffers drought. Territory 5 gets a drought marker. It only took me about 10 games or aborted games before I started learning what these numbers are. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. I have a hard time remembering where they are. Alright, and now, finally, our first scoring event. Return all the cubes over here, even in the subjugation box, back into the bag. Alright, now, a couple things happen until this event is discarded by 3 red cubes getting pulled again. Till that happens, all he does is pull cubes. He's just doing a subjugate action. Furthermore, he gets +1 AP, which I remind myself by putting a little poker chip here under here, so it reminds me, give him +1 AP in the collecting AP phase. This card stays on the board. I'm just going to put it there. And then we do our either 8-point victory check or good medicine. As I explained before, we don't want to do good medicine, so we're going to do our first victory check. So come with me. Alright, so we add up our areas of VP for our family territories. 4, 7, 9, 12. 12 minus 8. Unfortunately, we don't get anything extra. It's positive. So if the difference is positive, add 1 military point. Yeah, not really fair, game designer. We only get 1. Meanwhile, if we had lost 4, we would lose 4 military points. So the most you can get is +1, and you can get any number of negatives. But all right, subtract the enemy morale from our military. I should include you in on this here. All right, so we went up 1 military. Now subtract enemy morale from military. So we go down to 1, subtract 5, then set enemy morale to 0. Add 1 enemy morale for each outpost in play, which is 1 because we pulled the green, we couldn't kill it. Ugh, still bitter over that. Alright, so now we're tied. Then add 1 for each man counter. Well, we lost a man from family D, so we only get 3. 1, 2, 3, and then he gets 3 as well. Or actually, I just did slightly out of order, and then you would do the increase for the outpost, but whatever, we already did it. So now we're both at 4, okay? And if the game ended here, we would subtract morale from our military and be at 0 and have a minor defeat. That's how hard this is. All right, now we increase culture points by the number of women counters in play. We have 4 women counters, A, B, C, and D. D is only a woman right now. But unfortunately, you cannot go above 9, and if you were above 9 at this point, you would be reduced to 9. Very gamey, but whatever. We lose 1 culture point per fort in play. There's no forts in this scenario, so we can always skip step 7. Step 8 says, unless it's later in the game, we may spend culture points to buy another one of those culture cards, which we absolutely, positively will be doing. But let's just skip that for now. Set APs to 0. We're already at 0, and remove half of the population counters rounded up. So We're going to lose these anyway, so. Alright, so we lost that. Who cares? Alright, now we get to go shopping, and I already know what we're going to buy. We're going to go get the next level of cunning. Alright, it's going to cost us 2 culture points, and now this is cool. If we have 2 or more culture points, we have a new action, special elder action available. We can look at the next 2 cards. Now you can't rearrange them like you can with that major event, but knowledge is power. Plus, level 3 is even better, and this is what we're really going for here. If we have 3 or more culture points during planning, each of our elders collects 2 APs, and then each elder may conduct 2 special elder actions. So I'm going to buy this for 2 culture. This is still tapped because we used it, and it won't reset till we do another passage of time, but this is in play. And that is... do we reset? No, we don't. We already removed the cubes. Oh, also, while this is out, we do not reset cubes. So anything that says reset cubes, or if we take a planning action, which normally would reset cubes, we don't do it. So, alright. I'm going to stop here and upload this. That gets us through our first of 5 scoring events. The game will end on the 5th one. So I'll see you in a minute.